on?
How's it going?
Pretty good, man. Happy to have you on for a Saturday night hangout.
Perfect timing now.
Yeah, chill type thing.
Yeah, thank you so very much for having me.
Not a problem at all. We've been kind of chatting for a while, and kind of going off each other's channels for a little bit.
Yeah, I always support as much content creators as I can these days.
Yeah, man, that's the way to go, man. Us starting, we all start somewhere
Mm-hmm.
at some point, and I know, you're like halfway to 1,000, I think now, around
Yeah,
there.
this past year I reached so many small goals
Mm-hmm.
for my channel, from streaming as much as I can, connecting with people. But the biggest goal I managed to reach is 500 subscribers.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sitting at I'm sitting at the top for now. I'm
Mm-hmm.
content. I'm content. 400 was good. 300 was good. 500. I'm still content at that level that I'm at right now. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
just focused on the watch hours right
Yeah, of
now.
course. We're all in that. We're all in the watch hour game, man.
Yeah,
Um,
and making sure people are giving the streams, my videos, a thumbs up, because it
yeah.
helps with
Oh
the
yeah,
algorithm, I guess.
a ton, man. Yeah, I feel like when the sub count, like especially when you first start out, you're like, man, like who the hell's gonna want to subscribe to my channel? And then like as you keep growing, you're like, damn, 500 people, 100, like that keep
Yeah,
getting that 100. It's like, damn, like it's awesome. It's a good feeling for sure.
it is. Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, Dominique?
Hey, Dominic, I think I'm subscribed to his channel.
Oh,
I
okay. I
could be
didn't know if
wrong.
he had a
Yeah.
channel. I will have to check that out after this
Yeah,
stream.
he's a fairly new. I think he's got a fairly new channel.
I'll have to check
Again,
that out.
and he's in the same bubble as us with movie content.
Oh, okay. Awesome. All right. I'll have to check that out, Dominique, after the stream.
So
Um,
I don't know if you knew this about my channel.
mm-hmm,
So I came up with the name one night, Dark Room Reviews,
mm-hmm.
and my focus for the channel was to keep it strictly just horror movies, horror reviews.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah, and so 2 or 3 weeks went by, and I kind of that idea kind of was getting dry, and I wanted to branch out to other movie genres, and
Yeah.
so eventually I did just that. I went ahead and did like a trailer reaction to a action movie or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
it just went from there.
Yeah. It's funny, dude. I actually have a story. I think the first time I watched one of your videos, I can't remember what video it was, but I think like you had like a controversial opinion, and I think you pissed somebody off in the
Did
comments.
I?
I don't
Yeah,
remember like
yeah.
who. I think it was just a random person.
Hmm.
But I just remember the first video I watched. I'm like, damn, he's already going out swinging.
I rarely get negative comments, like pissed off comments, but when I do, I don't retaliate. I mean, I'll comment. The only thing I'll comment for a comment like that is thanks for watching, or
Yeah,
something simple, not not
yeah.
to aggravate the person.
I feel for me like I haven't really got any bad ones in a while, but I remember some of the ones I've gotten. Like I think I let it get to me a little bit, but I think like after a while, like you just like whatever, you know,
Mhm.
let
Yeah,
let people, they're gonna say what they're gonna say. You're always gonna get somebody that doesn't agree with you and stuff, and film is always subjective, so
hmm,
it is what it is.
right.
I have to post more horror reviews. It's been a while since I made a review. I'll
Yeah,
definitely check
man.
out your channel. Yeah, we both love horror here. So as you can see, I got the Drag Me to Hell over there and the
Hmm.
Strangers, and I have other horror posters around the room too. But yeah, dude, I love horror, Dominique. So yeah, man.
So Dominic, what Ryan and I were talking about a little while ago was networking and finding the time to even make a video, have time to edit that video and post
Yeah.
it. So it's all about your schedule.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for me, like every month, I literally have in my notes on my phone, like everything that comes out, dude. I write down everything. Even when I'm in the theater and I see a new trailer, I'm like, I'm writing that down. When's that come out?
Mhm.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah.
And I'll look out for it. But sometimes you get those trailers and you just don't know if like your theater is going to get it. Usually
Mhm.
AMC, the AMC I go to, they're usually pretty good at getting most of those movies. But there are
Mhm.
some like I write down, I'm like, you never see them. So
Right.
I always write those down. I'm also really like lively into like Instagram. There's this it's called When to Stream, and they talk about
Mm.
what's coming on streaming,
Mhm.
um, what to look out for and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So like
my
I'm always on top of that too and writing stuff down. And I think like
mhm.
that's the easiest way for me to like organize what I'm gonna do each week. Like this week, dude, I've freaking watched 7 new movies. It's been
Yeah,
a wild
and
week,
it's,
man.
like, starting to show on your channel. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're yeah.
So I mean, I knocked out 2 reviews. Actually, posted them today, and then I did a
Mhm.
short. I still got 3 other movie reviews that I'm gonna do, and it's just one of those things where I'm like popping stuff out. There's so
Mhm.
much content, and
Yeah.
a lot of times too, like a lot of people may not know about some of these movies because there's so much content every
Oh,
single
yes.
week
Yeah,
coming out. It is
yeah.
so much to keep up with. So I feel like
Mhm.
us YouTubers are like the voice to getting people to like, hey, like this movie's available. Go check it out.
Mhm.
Whether
Right.
it's streaming or theaters. Because some people like they don't like going to the theater. They like watching it
No.
at home.
Mhm.
So some people may save it for like their list for later, but
Mhm.
um here we go. I never get bad reviews because I review only quality films. Tell them, Ryan.
Yeah, he has a point, he has a point, yeah.
Honestly, I'm just being lazy. Fair enough,
Yeah.
man. Like it. So, um, one of my buddies, Mike, from a channel called Did You See That? He kind of said it best to
Mhm.
me. He said, "You are your own boss. There's nobody
Mhm.
telling you got to post. You tell yourself
Mhm.
if you're going to post, and you make the time to post what you want to post and when you want to post it." So that's the coolest thing about being a YouTuber is
You make
you
your own
you do what
schedule.
you want. You do what you
Yeah.
want and you post what you want and when you want to
Mhm.
post it.
Yeah.
I like that mentality. It's easier to, just doing what you want to do. Like the content that you want to do at the end of the
Mhm.
day. But sometimes like you can get into that habit too where, some of your fans may like something else. Like they may like a trailer reaction or they may like, some other type of content that you do. So sometimes
Right.
you can get into that as well.
Mhm.
Um, so like it just really depends. But I feel you on being lazy, Dominic. I mean, I've been times where I haven't want to post anything.
Mhm.
Especially like because outside of this, we all have real jobs.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not a real job doing this. It'd be awesome if it was, but
Yeah, for sure.
um, working full time and then doing this and um, having the time to watch the movies and making all the schedules, it's a lot. I tell you, it's a grind. Like YouTube is a grind, and
Mhm.
you have to be prepared to grind it out to be able to keep up with everything new. Like, and sometimes it's tough to do that, especially if you have so much going on. So I can
Yeah.
totally relate to that for sure.
With me, I started from the bottom. I
Mm,
started recording from before I had a camera. I was just recording off my iPad and just uploading that way. And then I figured out how to slowly but surely. I figured out how to make thumbnails.
mm.
Figured out how to edit. So it was a process.
Yeah, it's been for me the same way, man. Like, you ever go back and watch some of your old videos and you go, man, that is bad. What
Yeah,
was I
yeah.
doing?
Hmm.
And for me, definitely, dude. Like, if you go back and watch some of my early videos, you can tell, like, just my demeanor is different.
Hmm.
Um, the way like you structure your reviews and like how you talk about movies, totally
Hmm.
different. And
Mhm.
I've said before on the channel, in this house, I've recorded in every single room
Oh,
and
wow.
changed my setup
Yeah.
every single time. So it it's always been like a change of scenery like all the time, I feel
Mhm.
like. And there's been like change of the rooms and everything like that. So um this has been like the spot that I've created for a while. Like, I wanted that background with like the pictures and the movies behind me, make it
That's what I want. That's what I want.
more presentable and
Right.
make it seem like, yeah, like that dude, he's a movie buff, he
Mhm.
loves movies.
Yeah,
uh, I got the chainsaw in the background there, Texas
I see that.
Chainsaw, and I got the monkey over there,
Yeah.
Sonic. So like it makes me it makes me feel like I know what I'm doing here on YouTube anyway, and movies.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm happy to have that in the background and make it look a little bit more official, so to speak.
So I don't know if you've noticed, but other people's channels,
Mm,
it seems like their other people's content is just like strictly based on stuff that's out in theaters right now.
right.
A lot of times,
Hmm.
and they just kind of build around that. With me, I'll do
I can still hear you.
okay. With me, I'll do ranking videos. I'll
Hmm.
do movie hauls. I'll talk about a movie that's off my that's on my channel. I
Hmm.
mean, that's on my movie shelf.
Uh-huh.
So I try to make videos um, based on stuff that's not out right now. That's not hot right now.
Hmm.
Right away, at least. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like for me, I try to cover it all. Which, by the way, I don't know, your video is out. I can still hear you, but I don't know if like
Mhm.
you hit your video off or something. But just
I think I bumped something. Hold on. Let me.
I got you. Well, anyway, I'll keep talking. But yeah, like as far as like for me, I kind of like to do the variety. I like to cover the bigger movies, but I like to do the smaller stuff as well because a lot of times that gets no love, and a lot of times people don't even know stuff is out. And honestly, for me, just doing those smaller movies, sometimes it really puts to other YouTubers that maybe not know about those movies, and then they can go check it out for themselves. A good example of that last year was like Strange Darling and Ghostlight. Like those were kind of on the low end,
Uh
so
huh.
like people really like that. So there you go, you're
There
back.
you
Dominique says, because I started doing video game live stream on my channel recently, and that is more easier for me. And I love video games as much as I love films.
go.
That's
Hmm.
fair enough, man. Like I have some video games as well, but to be honest with you, I think just like finding the time to do that as well.
Yeah.
I think just doing YouTube and a full-time job, watching movies and all that stuff, it takes up so much time. And then for me too, I love sports, and baseball season's about to start, so
Hmm.
I'm gonna about to be a really busy man. So like video games, because
You
baseball's
know,
on every night.
you know,
So
it's so interesting. When you have a new channel, you're figuring out what kind of content you want to make.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like you have to find your niche. I mean, I do see a lot of people do video game content live
Mhm.
streaming. I know that's like really popular.
Right.
There's a few other channels I know that do movie reviews that kind of add that in a little bit as well. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's cool to have that variety and have something maybe a little bit different,
Hmm.
especially for those that like video game content. So
Hmm.
you can also get other subscribers to come in and check out your stuff that way. So
Right.
um,
Yeah.
so that's cool that you do that, man.
Yeah.
She says, but I'm also a filmmaker and I'm working on my debut feature horror anthology film this month.
Oh
Dude,
wow.
that's awesome, man. I
That's a
definitely admire that.
that's a big task. Anthology. Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome. Definitely you know, proud of you on that instance to even do that, man. Have the courage to do that and do what you love. That's not always the easiest as well, but like being an indie filmmaker and having maybe like roadblocks and different things with like budgetary reasons and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
Definitely hats off for that. And like horror is really tough. I feel like that's one of the toughest genres to accomplish because there's like so much like,
There really is.
and there's so
That's
many subgenres too.
that's a popular genre,
Yeah,
and if you're basing your channel around that, you could get lucky.
yeah, yeah. But like horror, there's always so many people that watch it. But they, like I just said, like there's so many brands of horror and there's so much
Mhm.
subgenres of horror. So, dude, good luck to that, man. Like that's awesome.
Well, I mean, that's perfect for a horror-based channel because you can do
Yeah.
rankings,
Oh yeah.
a different decades too, and just you can play around with ideas.
Oh yeah, there's like so many like things you can do with the camera, and like I said,
Yeah.
there's so many different brands like found footage. I think if I was do a
Mhm.
horror movie, I'd love to do a found footage movie if I could find like a if I could get a really good story. But I think that
Mhm.
would be something I'd be really down to do. But I like all kinds of brand of horror, so
For sure. Mhm.
there would be so many things I like to do. If I could be in a horror movie or direct something, or
Mhm.
I would love to do it. But I can imagine just like the hours being put into that, and just um, it's tough. Can be really tough on horror.
I think I would like to do something behind the camera for sure.
Yeah, I would love to do that as well. One second, my phone. Uh, there you go. Yeah, I would love to do that. It would be go behind the camera and do like different things. Like I said, I've always thought about doing like a found footage. Like if you could get like a good story going and everything like that, there's a lot of things you can do with found footage.
Absolutely. We got some new comments
Yep,
here.
I see that. We got Bronson in the house. Hey, Bronson, what are your top three favorite Robin Williams movies or performances? For me, I would say really love him in Aladdin, Mrs. Doubtfire, and Dead Poet Society.
For me, Insomnia. He has a
Okay.
role in that movie. Um, 1 Hour Photo was a
Okay.
little indie thriller, and oh gosh, Goodwill Hunting. I guess does that count?
Okay. I haven't seen any of those three, so that's why none of them
Okay.
are on the
Okay.
list. But dude, that's awesome. Yeah, man, like that. I mean, Robin Williams, he is thoroughly missed. Honestly, every day. I got
That's a
so
good
many
one. Yeah,
Jumanji down
Sean,
there.
that's a good one.
Jumanji,
Jumanji.
that's a good one
Yeah,
as well.
totally missed that one.
Love the original Jumanji as well.
Mhm.
I also like him, and I know it's probably not a very. I don't know if it's well reviewed or like well liked, but I love RV.
Okay.
I love
Yeah.
RV. That movie always it always cracks me
Mhm.
up. I don't know if you've seen it.
I might have years ago.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
when his like family go on a trip or whatever, and he's part of
Mhm.
like a soda company.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
There, I,
So,
there's still stuff out there that I haven't seen from him.
oh yeah, of
Yeah.
course, dude.
Yeah.
There's so many movies out there, dude. There's only
Mhm.
100 years in cinema. So,
But yeah,
we got the Porch
um,
Man in here.
yeah.
What's going on, man?
Got Porchman, got Sean. Sean's got a great channel too.
He does, and he's a Raven fan, so that makes it even better.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not easy, but I was told not to give up and keep pushing. Yeah, man,
Yeah.
definitely, dude. Keep going, keep grinding. You'll learn things as you go.
Hmm.
You'll make mistakes as you go. It's just gonna happen, man. Like you learn, like for any career or anything that you do, you're always gonna be learning stuff and wanting to improve and reach that goal. You may not get it the first time, but dude, like you're gonna learn from it as you keep kind of progressing. It's like with anything in life. So just go for it, and then from there you can build on what you can improve on. I would say is like my best advice to give you. I have a theory that every horror movie lover loves movies, and most others who are on the fence with horror generally like movies. Okay. like I feel like a lot of people like movies, but I feel there are some that are very particular in what they like.
Mhm.
I think there are people that seriously discredit horror
Mhm.
for, like, they always think it's all about like blood, gore, and like slashing up, and like they don't realize, like we were just saying, like there's so many subgenres of horror that not everything is about that.
Mhm.
And like sometimes you can watch a horror movie and it can really like mess with your head, like psychologically. And I don't know, I find myself, if it's a good horror movie, really thinking about some of the events that unfold, because sometimes horror may not be like a monster or somebody
Mhm.
scary. It could be just something like life wise that could be scary, or like an
Right.
event that triggers something like trauma. There's just so many things you can do with horror. And I think if more people kind of had that understanding of horror, I think more people would even watch it even more, like outside of like the realm of watching like maybe like mainstream movies as well. Um, so yeah, like that's my thought process on that
No,
anyway.
you're right. Yeah. But I also think that when people think of horror in general, they think of, the Freddys of the world, Jason hacking up people and,
Mhm.
Chucky. And I feel like those characters are like, and what they're known for are at the forefront.
Right. Hold on one second. I got my
Mhm.
cat meowing at my door. I have a cat that's like really attached to me, and he will sit there and meow the door. So like a
Mhm.
lot of times when I like record videos, I have to literally like wait till he goes to sleep because he will meow. Like I can record videos if he's quiet and like he's gonna
Mhm.
sleep and stuff, but dude, like he will meow like constant.
Mhm.
He's like attached to me at the hip, so
Yeah.
I had to let him in, but he may meow a little bit. But anyway, he's a part of the stream now.
Yeah, yeah. All are welcome.
So, have you seen the Leprechaun films?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
a majority of them. In fact, I think my first video, I talked about Leprechaun, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I watched them this past year for the first time, and I didn't love the movies.
Mhm.
There were certain ones I liked more than others. I didn't like that. There was like a remake one they made, I believe, where they changed the main character. And I think it was Hornswoggle from like WWE or something.
Okay.
And I didn't like that one at all.
Mhm. Yeah.
And it was just completely different vibe and stuff. And then just like some of them are like really ridiculous and kind of over the top. And he's kind of funny sometimes with like his riddles and stuff. I don't really consider them to be like super scary, but like maybe some other people would. I feel like they're more like horror comedy range to me
Right.
personally.
Mhm.
But it just like depends on like what you're looking for, like what you're in the mood in with those movies. But I don't think like any of them are like top tier, like great for me.
Right. They're not
But
for everyone.
yeah, but I've seen them, and you know, eh, there's some I'd be like, yeah, I don't know if I want to watch that one. I think like the
Mhm.
one where they're in the hood or whatever
Uh-huh.
is like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
But
I've heard of those, but I didn't get a chance to watch them.
yeah, so yeah, that's kind of like my thoughts on them. Bronson said Flubber was the first movie I saw Robin Williams in. My favorite of his is Stoutfire, like Good Morning Vietnam, Patch Adams. Didn't care for RV or Old Dogs. I
Yeah.
didn't like Old Dogs either. I saw that in the theater.
Yep.
And Flubber, I really enjoyed actually.
Lover's a great one.
I really enjoyed that. I think that still has like a DVD. I don't even think they've like upgraded that, because you know how like
Yeah.
Disney doesn't like to upgrade their films. I mean, how dare
Mhm.
they? But you know, that's how it goes usually. But actually, earlier I was looking at like what was coming out, and do you remember the movie Mouse Hunt?
Yes. Yeah.
They're coming out with a 4K for that. Kino
Oh
Lorber's doing it,
man.
and I was like,
Good,
oh,
good.
that is a good movie, and I enjoyed that as a kid. So I think I may have to pick that up. I don't have any Kino Lorber in my collection. They do like a lot of westerns and stuff
Mhm,
usually, so I'm usually not like a big western fan,
mhm.
um, but yeah, I may have to pick that up because that's like a childhood movie right there. So I was pretty excited they're doing that.
Yeah, when it comes to boutique labels, I've
Hmm.
learned a lot about them.
Yeah.
A lot of information I've picked up from a lot of the movie collectors on YouTube,
Hmm.
and boutique labels like Vinegar Syndrome, Umbrella Entertainment, Arrow.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've been doing my research on them, and
Yeah.
I look out for prices on movies, and
Yeah.
I've ordered stuff off of Groove, some Groove. Yeah.
Yeah. Groove is pretty good. I've ordered from them a few times.
Hmm.
No issues. Pretty good
Hmm.
packaging.
Yeah.
So, so I'll definitely shout them out. Boutique labels for me, mostly I have a good amount of like, not Shutter, Shout Factory, Scream
That's
Factory. I have a
another
lot of
good one.
those. Um, this year though, they haven't done a lot of horror titles, so I haven't really ordered from them this year. They've kind
Hmm.
of shifted their focus on like other movies.
Hmm.
So, and a lot of them have been like movies I haven't watched. So for me, kind of going into from 2024 and like kind of forward, I haven't been blind buying as much. I don't know if
Hmm.
you really do too much blind buys, just mainly because it just costs so much for a movie now.
Hmm.
So it's like one of those things where I have to watch it first, and then if
Right.
I'm interested, I'll give it an order.
That's
Um,
always been me. I need to watch the movie.
yeah, but
You know,
I've
if I
done
want
blind
to.
buys and I've been disappointed and burned. I feel like I did that a lot when Best Buy was around.
Hmm.
So now that Best Buy isn't around, it kind of helps me within the wallet and not
Hmm.
blind buying so many movies. So here we go. He's got to make an appearance.
Yeah.
um, but anyway, like with them out of the way, like now you're ordering a lot from boutique labels. And
Hmm.
I was watching a channel earlier uh, where they were doing Blu-ray hunting, and they were talking about how like now it's pretty much strictly a market online, and it really
Hmm.
is because
Yeah.
you go to a store and really for me all I have is it's either Goodwill,
Hmm.
it's I have a store called Second and Charles,
Hmm. That's a.
and
I've heard good things about that one.
they're good if you like DVDs and Blu-rays. They got them.
Hmm.
Very few 4Ks, not much 4Ks usually.
Hmm.
FYE has kind of gone down the gutter. There isn't much there anymore.
Hmm.
And then Walmart is like pretty hit or miss. Depends on
Hmm.
the location. I feel like
Right.
some of them like the stock, some of them do not.
Hmm.
So it really depends on the location, and it depends what you want. But for me, I'm kind of at the point now where I pretty much pre-order everything.
Hmm.
Like if I really want something, I'm gonna pre-order it. If it's coming
Yeah.
out, and it's just usually easier that way. Like most of the time for me, I don't have bad experiences with Amazon. Knocking on wood. Um,
Mhm.
but like yeah, like so pre-ordering is pretty much what I do at this point, and just I've been kind of doing it for a while, so I'm kind of used to it at this point.
I'm in the same boat. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
my local Goodwill I'll go to for physical media. Target's not non-existent when it comes
Yeah.
to them putting out movies. Best Buy, no, not anymore.
Yeah.
But luckily, I have a Barnes and Noble near me.
Yes.
I'll go to that one to get my stuff.
The thing with them is I have four in the area, but only one does physical media.
Wow.
So if I want to go to that one, I have to go up to the next town over. So
Mhm.
unless I'm in the area, I'm not gonna like frequently go there. But I will say they've upped their game with that one that does
Mhm.
do physical media. Like they do have some 4Ks and some steel books. They just recently got the A24 section there as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. Mine too.
Um, then they have plenty of Criterions and
Mhm.
Arrow. But the thing with Criterion, I like them as a label, but they make a lot of movies that I've never heard of. So
Mhm.
it's kind of tough for me to order from them with their prices. So for me, like, I just am really selective. I think I only have like two back there. Like I have like Pinocchio, the one from Netflix.
That's the one I want to get for Criterion.
That one I have. I have Wally, and I have on pre-order. I have Some Like It Hot. They're bringing that to 4K,
Okay.
and it actually already has a 4K. I think Kino Lorber did one, but I never got it, and I saw Criterion was going to do it because they already had the Blu-ray, so I figured it's eventually a matter of time so they do 4K. So I ordered that one, and then Anora is getting the Criterion,
Yep.
and Flow as well. So I pre-ordered Flow as well. So I'll have a few more Criterions in the collection where I know the movies. So
Do you know when Flow's coming out?
it doesn't have a release date yet.
Okay.
Yeah, so not sure on that, but it's on pre-order. So I'm assuming it'll probably be like May or June because they announced their April ones already. So Nora was in April, I know. So it's probably going to be May or June, I would imagine.
Okay. I know Anora is coming out next month.
Yeah. So looking forward to owning those. Let's see. What are your top 3 favorite Tom Hanks movies performances? Mine are Castaway, Toy Story, and Polar Express.
Okay.
For me, I would say Forrest Gump. Always loved that movie.
Oh yeah.
I agree. Castaway is really good. Toy Story is really good. I'd have to really think about his other movies, but he's done a lot of good stuff. So yeah, you could sit here and debate about it all day long.
I like a lot of his older stuff, not so much his newer stuff.
Yeah, I haven't seen Here, which I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't really interested in that. It didn't look all that interesting personally for me.
Yeah.
I liked him. I'm trying to think what other stuff he's done recently.
I like him in the movie Big. He was in the movie Big.
Haven't seen that movie. It's funny, when I worked at a movie theater, just like as like a second job for a while, I remember the first day I was there, they put on the badge like you have to put a movie you like, and somebody just put a random movie on there and they put Big on there, and I'm like, what is Big? And that's the first time I ever heard of it. So yeah, I still have to watch that movie. So yeah, like I'm sure there's other stuff of his I need to watch.
For sure.
I feel like I'm always catching up on older movies because I've said before, like my childhood was different when it came to just like how I was brought up with movies and introduced to movies. A lot of it was like discovering things for myself kind of later in life. So like I'm always behind, I feel like, in older movies.
I'm the same way too. I'm at the point right now where like I'm going back and watching a lot of movies I missed.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah, actually earlier I was watching my buddy Jason's video, and he was talking about the Oscars and he was naming all the Oscar films, and there's 97 of them, and I told him, dude, I've only seen 17 out of 97 films.
I've probably watched less of that. I've probably watched less of those.
Yeah. So and I really haven't kept up with the Oscars until like I would say the last 3 years, mainly since I've done YouTube pretty much. So yeah, I got to catch up on those. I'm that one guy who will watch every single Liam Neeson film that releases in theaters. Okay. You know what's funny? Yeah. I feel like he does a lot of the same movies, but I feel like I'm that guy that's been watching all his movies in theaters as well. I feel like as of late, he releases these movies that have no promotion. They just throw it in the theaters, and I guess they just think that Liam Neeson fans are going to come out and go check them out.
Right.
And so, like, I guess I'm one of those, but I feel like he's always doing that same kind of Taken role where I like taking 20 or whatever. And actually, his last film, I will say though, like he had a little bit different role. He was in a film called Absolution, where that was a little bit different. But a lot of his fans didn't like that movie. I guess because it was different, and it was like a slow burn kind of film as well. But yeah, I agree there. I'm usually there for every movie that he's doing these days.
I like some of his movies.
Yeah, it depends with me. Like Taken I like. I feel like Taken 2 is like rehashing, and then Taken 3 isn't very good.
He was in I haven't seen it yet, but Nonstop. He was in that one.
I like Nonstop. There's a movie he was in called Unknown that I enjoyed
That sounds familiar. Yeah.
with January Jones.
Okay.
So I think that was in like 2010 or 11, something like that.
I liked him
Um,
in The Gray. He was in The Gray.
yeah, the one where the plane crashes. Yeah, that one.
Mhm.
That one's pretty good. He's done quite a bit.
Mhm.
I've seen.
Yeah.
I would say I've seen a good portion of his movies, but yeah, I agree with you on that, Porchman. I pretty much go to the theater to see all his stuff.
My dog wants to come in.
Yeah, go for it, man. Let's see. Dominic says a lot of celebrities came from horror, like Johnny Depp, Kevin Bacon, Jamie Lee Curtis, Brad Pitt, Tom Hanks. Yeah, that is true. That is very true. So I definitely agree there. And we got Jason saying, "I love movies and I'm not a horror guy." Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, Jason. There's people out there that love movies and don't like horror, but I do find there are people that don't like as many movies and usually aren't into horror as well. So I guess it just varies by person. But like, fair enough. I mean, like some people they like different kind of movies, so like that's cool.
Yeah, I like horror movies to an extent. I saw the Terrifier movies, but they were a little over the top and just not for me.
That's fair enough. Good point, Doc. I think the Terrifier success and mainstream horror villains make a lot of people think slashers make up almost all horror.
Mhm.
Yeah, that is true. But they're definitely wrong.
Yeah.
There's definitely more subgenres to horror, and not everything needs to be a slasher.
Right.
What are your top 3 favorite Steve Martin movies? Mine are Bowfinger, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and The Man with Two Brains.
Ooh.
Steve Martin, what? Let's see, what movies have I seen of his? I gotta look this up because I don't even honestly know.
He was in the Father of the Bride movies.
Haven't seen those. Let's see. I can tell you. Steve Martin. Let's see. Let's see. Steve Martin. What have I seen from him? Apparently not a lot. I'm going through this.
Same. I just barely saw Planes, Trains, and Automobiles like this past year, I think.
I did like that movie. I have it in the collection, so I would say that would be one. Let's see. Okay, I've seen him in Love the Coopers. Didn't like that movie. Okay, he was in Home, the kid movie. I've seen that. I like Cheaper by the Dozen.
Oh yeah, I like that one too.
That one would be on my list. Bringing Down the House with Queen Latifah isn't too bad. Let's see. He was in The Prince of Egypt, which I haven't seen that in years.
The animated one?
Yes.
Oh.
He was Hotep.
Oh.
And to be honest with you, I really haven't seen majority of these movies that he's been in.
I've heard of Bowfinger.
Yeah, I haven't seen most of the stuff he's been in, so I can barely make a top 3 list, man.
Great question though.
Yeah, for sure. Like, 'cause I know he's a popular actor. I've always liked Michael J. Fox as Stuart Little. What is your favorite Michael J. Fox movie or performance besides Back to the Future movies and or Family Ties? Let's see.
He was in The Frighteners. I like.
Never seen that. Heard of it because it recently got a release, I think. Let me see. What have I seen of his? Sometimes I forget with some of these. Let's see. Apparently he was in Scrubs.
Oh.
For 2 episodes. Stuart Little, I would say. Stuart Little, I like him in. Oh, he was Chance in Homeward Bound. I love Homeward Bound.
Oh, that's right.
Lost in San Francisco. I would say that. I like that one. Let's see. I've seen Greedy. Because I did like a collab with somebody. and I didn't mind that.
I think he was a voice actor for Treasure Planet, I think.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, a lot of his stuff I haven't seen either, to be honest with you. Probably for me, I guess it would be the Homeward Bound movies because I
Mhm.
watched those as a child. Stuart
Yeah.
Little, I would say, and I saw Greedy. I didn't mind Greedy. That wasn't too bad. So like probably those. But mainly, I haven't seen a lot of his stuff, honestly. So that'd be mine. Let's see. I don't think you'll find many Christians like myself will be in the horror genre. There's something
Mhm.
inherently immoral about the horror genre that keeps us away. I
Yeah,
understand,
yeah.
and I know a lot of people don't like the possession stuff. I feel
Mhm.
like, or like religious horror. People
Mhm.
really don't like that genre.
Yeah.
I hear that all the time, especially if it's like a PG-13 movie. Like I remember Pray for the Devil came out a few years ago. People really didn't like that.
Mhm.
The Exorcist, when that got remade or whatever, of a revision or whatever, a lot of people didn't like that. That came out. A lot of people don't like the Nun movies, which I enjoy the Nun movies. So I feel like that's the genre that really, not even just Christians, but just people in general, don't
Right.
like that really at all.
Yeah, when it comes to, people and me talking to them about movies, I'm careful. I don't even a lot of times I don't bother because one, they probably haven't seen the movie,
Hmm.
or two, they don't look like the type of people who watch movies very often, so I don't even bother like starting a conversation.
That makes sense. I mean, yeah, it just varies. Like I feel like for me, like outside of YouTube, I don't really talk to like a lot of people about
Mhm.
movies unless I know that
Mhm.
person like really likes movies or like they made posts about it, and then like we'll get in a conversation then.
Mhm.
But I feel like most of the time, like YouTube is the way to get my feelings out as far as what I think of a movie. I tend to sometimes have the opinions that maybe some don't agree with, but
Mhm.
I tell it like it is. Like there's no beating around the bush. I'm never going to give something a good review if I don't like it personally.
Mhm.
And I feel like in general, like we all know what we like and what we don't like, but then sometimes like for me, I think as a reviewer trying to branch out into watching other stuff,
Mhm.
sometimes like broaden your horizons a little bit. And
Right.
I feel like for me, like I tend to try to do that. I try to present other kind of genres and not just stick to one genre. But obviously,
Mhm.
there's a lot of horror on the channel. But
Right.
um,
Yeah.
I always try to see different stuff, so and give stuff a chance. So because you never know. I
Absolutely.
mean, you can find something in another genre where it could be one of your favorite movies. So it's you know, if it's the right cast and like it's the right story and everything, like it can happen.
And I always try to encourage people, subscribers. I'll put in a post, let you know that, hey, let me know if you want to see something specific on the channel. Just
Hmm.
let me know. And
Yeah, like that's good too because like then your audience they're giving you suggestions and movies to watch, and then like you can
Mhm.
sometimes get that movie off your checklist
Mhm.
and go check that out. And it's stuff that you may not have checked out if somebody didn't recommend to you. So I mean, I think that's a great idea for sure.
Mhm.
Uh, what are your thoughts on the Patrick Swayze's Roadhouse? One of my favorite action films.
I saw that. The 80s Roadhouse. Yeah. I'm going to say I saw it this past year, if
Mm-hmm.
not in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I was like, so Patrick Swayze, he's like a security guard at a bar, a local bar.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to wrap my head around that concept. Like, why is he doing this? I mean,
Yeah,
it just wasn't for me. I mean,
I never saw it, so I can't comment on it. I know that the new one came out, and a lot of the reviews I saw was it was terrible.
mhm,
So I didn't want to start watching with that one because mainly because I haven't seen the original,
mhm.
so I haven't seen either yet.
Right, right.
We got Angela saying hello. What's going on, Angela?
Angela.
What are your top three favorite, your favorite, least favorite Adam Sandler movie besides Jack and Jill? Mine are I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry, You Don't Mess with
Mhm.
Zohan, and That's My Boy.
All three are good choices.
So top favorite. Oh, I think he meant favorite and least favorite. I
Oh,
think
least
he said favorite and least
favorite,
favorite.
least?
I don't know.
Huh.
If we're talking with both, I can easily, let's see. Let me look up what he's got because there's stuff. Okay, I know Big Daddy is one of my top ones. I love Big Daddy. That's always a favorite of mine. I would say Uncut Gems is another one I really like because it's just something different. Let's see. Oh, and I always like Just Go With It. That one I enjoy. As far as movies that I don't care for with him, I would say, and I know like for some people they really like this, but I was never a really big a fan of like 51st Dates. I know a lot
Mhm.
of people like that one. Let's see. Wasn't a big fan of like Eight Crazy Nights too much, and oh, and I don't like Little Nicky. My wife loves that movie, and I watched it a couple years ago. Not my brand of humor at all.
Hey, I'm gonna have to leave, Ryan. Is that all right?
Oh, you gotta go.
Yeah, I got a family thing to go to.
Okay,
I'm
man.
sorry to I'm sorry to leave you.
No, it's cool, man. If you gotta go, you gotta go. I
Okay.
appreciate you joining, man.
Anytime. Yeah.
Alrighty, I'll talk to you later.
Alrighty.
Peace.
Studio.
All right, we'll continue. Top favorite Jim Carrey movies or performances. So for me, I would say The Grinch is very good. I like The Grinch. Um, let's see, what else has he been in? Oh, Yes Man. I really liked Yes Man. That was a good movie. Let's see. Let's see. What other movies that I like by him? Probably The Mask as well. I would say that as well. Like those are my three. Eddie Murphy. I like him in Shrek. I like him in Daddy's Daycare. What else have I seen him in? I like him in Haunted Mansion as well. Like least favorite movies. Gosh, I'd have to really think of which ones. I wasn't really big on. I think it was Beverly Hill Cop 2. I wasn't big on Norbit. Wasn't big on that. And uh, I would say like the later Doctor Doolittles, I wasn't big on either. Let's see. I have FYE and McKay's. I found some good titles at FYE. Amazon has been good to me in the past. I use that a lot too. Yeah, I use Amazon all the time. FYE, I have two of them, and they're in the next town over. But the FYE in one location is pretty bad. They don't have a lot. They pretty much have gotten rid of CDs. I think now they just pretty much have vinyls, and I think they have like one shelf of movies. So that one's really bad. And then the other one, I'm not sure because I haven't been to the mall in like a couple months. I think they may have gone out of business. I'm not sure because they were having like a big sale. So I don't even know if I really have FYE anymore, to be honest with you. We don't have McKay's here, so I can't really comment on that. So pretty much like Amazon has been like the go-to if I want something. Um, so like yeah, I'm always like building a list of their stuff. So like Amazon's probably like my big go-to. Um, my top three favorite Danny DeVito movies. Let's see. What have I seen of Danny DeVito? Let's see. I can tell you that. Um, let's see. What has he been in that I've seen? Um, let's see. I think I've seen him in a movie. Let's see. I loved him in Hercules. I like him as Phil. Let's see. He's in Space Jam. I like Space Jam. That's a good movie. The original, of course. And let's see. There's a lot of movies I haven't seen from him, to be honest with you. Yeah, like I don't even know if I can name three because I haven't seen a lot of stuff from him. He was in Migration as well, and I watched that recently. There was a time when Barnes and Nobles was top tier for physical media 10 years ago. Back in 2015, I had picked up The Dark Knight, but now it's not as much. Yeah, like I was just telling Joel when he was on the stream, like I have four Barnes and Nobles by me, and just really just one does physical media. And I wouldn't say like they have like an amazing section. Like you pretty much go in, they got a real small section for like Arrow and the A24 section, and then they have the vinyls, and they have one full shelf that is all DVDs, and then they have another shelf where like half of it is like Criterion's, and then like the other portion is like a mix of like Blu-rays, DVDs, a few 4Ks, not a ton, and then they have like one other shelf where it has like some steel books, which is like maybe like I don't know, like 15 steel books or so to choose from, and then like a few others as well. So not a ton of stuff, but I mean it is something. It's better than nothing. So it's that's what we're dealing with these days with like physical media. My top three favorite Joe Pesci movies or performances. Let's see. Joe Pesci. What have I seen from him? Um, you're really testing the older movies for me, like because like a lot of the older stuff I haven't seen, to be honest with you. He was in Home Alone 2, which I really like Home Alone 2. The first Home Alone was really good. I've seen the first Lethal Weapon, which that was good, which I know they're coming out with like on 4K, I believe. And that's pretty much all I've seen from him, to be honest with you. Not very much. What are my thoughts on Captain Phillips? I've seen it once, and personally, I like the movie, but I don't really put too much thought in like watching it again, personally. But I think it was a good performance, and like he does this thing. I don't think it's like one of those movies that I would like rewatch like multiple times, but it's not a bad movie, and I would say like yeah, I don't mind the movie. What are my thoughts on Species 1 and 2? So the first Species um, was not too bad. I don't think it was great by any means. The second one is really bad. Um, the acting is like so wooden in that one, and the performances are not very good, and the story is a little bit off the wall. It definitely is not. It's definitely not anything great, I would say. So yeah, I would say like the first one is like it's tolerable and like I liked it. Second one not so great, and I never seen the third one, so I can't really comment on that one. I believe there's like more than three, but I'm not sure. I can't really remember, to be honest with you. Then we got Eli in the house saying, "What's up, everyone? Hey, Eli, I appreciate you dropping by and hanging out. I definitely appreciate it." So I guess like with Joel having to leave early, um, I'm all caught up on the comments and everything. I'll just go ahead and say like what's coming up on my channel personally. Um, so I today I just dropped a movie review for Mickey 17, and also a movie called The Rule of Jenny Penn, which is a Shudder film, which will be coming out on March 28th on Shudder. So I got a chance to see that in like limited release. So that just dropped. I did a short for a Shudder film called Starve Acre. So that just came out. And recently, I have a couple other reviews I'm working on. Um, I have a review for a movie called Seven Veils with Amanda Seyfried that just came out. So I'm going to be working on that. Also, I watched a movie called In the Lost Lands with Mila Jovovich. I'll be working on a review for that. And then thirdly, I have a review for a movie that just came on digital called Bloat, which is like one of those like computer, I guess, found footage movies, like kind of like the Unfriended movies, Missing, runs, that kind of genre, whatever you call it. I just watched that today. So all three of those will have reviews coming up. And then this week I have a pretty, I would say, full schedule of movies that I'll be checking out. I've been doing like a lot of doubling up. So like this week I have Novocaine. I'll be checking that out. Black Bag comes out this week. There's a horror movie called, I think it's Opus or Opus with A24. That comes out. And there may be like another surprise or two that I may check out this week. But as far as like anything else, yeah, like this is a pretty big month for me as far as like movies. There's a lot coming out, and it's a lot of smaller stuff, I would say. But I definitely want to cover more stuff on the channel and just, kind of get that out there and, um, you know, just get a bunch of content out there for you guys and stuff for you guys to check out. Maybe you guys may like some of those smaller movies as well. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I got working on. I guess I will get ready to wrap up this stream. I don't see any other comments, but I appreciate everybody for watching, and I hope to do like another one of these for sure, like, in the future. And yeah, like I appreciate everybody for watching, and I guess I'll get ready to sign off, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend. So I will talk to you guys later. Peace.